we've done this. Are you ready for a good synchronized cheers here?
Yeah, okay, you ready?
3, 2, 1. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
After long last, you're back.
Welcome back to another episode of Ranger and Chow.
Oh, let's just both introduce ourselves. That's great. How you been, buddy?
That'd be the Ranger right there, mate. Good. I've been working pretty hard, but if I win the lotto or if anything else really good happens to me, I might be able to stop working, which would be nice. Anyway, but let's not come here to whinge about working.
No.
Let's talk about a topic.
You can jump into that, or I can give you 2 seconds of bragging of where my life is literally working from home in this exact seat with my big ass TV in the background. And it is terrible because I'm doing a lot of reading. That's not my jam. But it's certainly not a hard lifestyle for me right now, not like you. All right, so let's jump into your little cattle class.
All right, here we go. Here's my topic for the day. Business class versus cattle class. Now everyone always says, well, obviously you're going to go business class, right?
No, not always, because there's poor people in the world.
I have an argument against that anyway, right? Because, well, look, through Virgin, you can use your points and that for business class tickets, but unlike Qantas, they're actually pretty good rates with Virgin. Like you can pay $300 and then just use a small amount of points and you get a business class ticket. But with Qantas, you'd have to spend a gazillion dollars on points.
Mansions, and then you'll have points for it.
Yeah. But anyway, having said that, though, I mean, I've traveled business class a few times with Virgin, and it's pretty bloody good. I got to say, you're sitting on the ground, you haven't even left the airport yet, and they're still bringing you out champagne and cocktails and things while the other passengers are walking past you, going back to cattle class. They're all giving you filthy looks. There are some perks about business class, but I think there's an argument that cattle class is better because when you're doing those hop to hop places, you're only on the plane for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Is it really worth paying 4 times the airfare for 2 hours? I mean, I know it's cramped, but you still get a feed. It doesn't, I mean, who cares whether you're not getting the fish, tartare or whatever it is,
Look, and I think that's the argument, isn't it? The extreme step up in price to be in business class instead of cattle class is something I've never even been able to begin to justify. However, saying that, the longest flight I've been on was over to Egypt, which had a stopover, and that was, like a 20-hour flight or something. And by the midway mark, you'd start to appreciate having no leg room is awful. So
yeah. Well, I mean, look, I wouldn't personally go out and pay for a business class ticket, but when you combine it with points and things like that, it's about the same price.
If it was a free upgrade, I'd certainly be jumping all over it. But
if it was just between say LA and Seattle, I wouldn't worry about it. But if you're going from LA to New York and you had the money, hell yeah, I would pay for that because that's a 5.5 hour air ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, 5.5 hours. I can have a quick sleep on that flight. I'll be okay with the shitty leg room. But that's just me.
When I'm on business class, I don't want to sleep, man. I want to enjoy the perks and being spoiled. I love it when they come over to you, give you your silverware and all the rest of it, and all this crap, and it's all linen napkins and all this sort of stuff, and they call you Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Ranger and Mr. Chow instead of just you, scumbag. But there are some nice stuff, but the fact that you get on there with priority boarding and you get to carry more luggage and that is good. But again, if you're only going for an hour and a half, 2 hour flight like Brisbane to Melbourne, does it really matter?
It really shouldn't, no. Yeah. But again, it comes down to a circumstantial thing. If you can afford it, why wouldn't you?
I Googled this the other day, right? And how airlines make their money. And they make more money out of business class than they do out of cattle class, believe it or not. So that's why some of the airlines now are making expanding on their business class seating because they're making more money out of it as more people decide to travel business class, you know.
Well, I mean, one business class spot takes up 4 economy class, but they're paying 5 times the amount. So they're getting an extra seat fare for nothing. So, well,
Anyway,
common math there.
so that's my rant. As far as taxis and things like that, I mean, yeah, obviously I'd prefer to travel in a limo than I'd prefer to travel in an Uber.
But again, that comes down to circumstance. If you're going from the airport literally 3 minutes down the road to your hotel, you jump in whatever's closest and you scoot down there. You don't wait 45 minutes for a luxury ride.
Or if in our case, we just drunkenly walk down there stumbling over the gutter.
Nah, that wouldn't be me. Chow doesn't stumble.
No, Chow doesn't stumble. He rolls, man.
Even when we've had too many of these, I'm still all class.
That's funny. Anyway, I reckon that's about it. Not a very exciting topic, but it's just something that I wanted to touch on to say, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things that I can never decide whether I want to do or don't do.
Well, I just never have that option. There's never enough money in the bank to go, yes, I'm going to make that upgrade. So most of this topic I couldn't relate. I don't know what you're talking about with their special services and their fancy silverware. That's
dude.
Not a luxury I've ever had.
One. I took a mate of mine, Dave, who's never been in business class, and we went to Melbourne last year. So not last year in COVID, but 2019. And I had 2 free business class tickets that came with my American Express card, right? And
I noticed I didn't get an invite.
You lived at Roma at the time, I think, mate.
Blame it on the geographical issues.
Anyway, and he couldn't believe it. The first 5 minutes in the plane, he was like, "This is just bull beep it." Couldn't believe it. So
you're doing the editing for me. I love
it. Yeah, but it was fun. And just sitting there. Naturally, the purser who looks after you is always gay, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes it that much more entertaining.
Well, not always, but sometimes they're just a little bit of a flamboyant straight person, then still entertaining.
Flamboyant straight person, yes. There are a few of those around, just neat and tidy people in their mid-30s who are just a little bit flamboyant. All right, mate, that's it. I'm wrapping this up. I'm going to go.
Yep, it's been good talking to you, mate. Look forward to catching up to you again soon, eh?
Yeah, all right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Now, was I recording that?